It's not your first rodeo. You've been here before, but just as a quick recap, explain to us what is Asimov? What do you guys do there? And what did you ship this week?
I'm
Sure
going to
thing.
let Matt take over from here.
Yeah, so I'll start off here. So hi folks, I'm Matt. I'm co-founder of Asimov Protocol, and I'm here with Arto, who's our tech founder. You might know who's very well known within the near community, and he's going to jump in sort of after me and sort of talk about what we've shipped recently on the protocol side. But first, I want to give you a quick update on what we've been building in the last 8 weeks. We've been a part of an accelerator program. When I was last on, I just said that we had been accepted into this DAGI accelerator. And that has been something that we were very proud to be a part of. There was 8 companies, I believe it was, chosen out of 300. So actually, let me just share my screen here. Yeah, these we were a part of that. So Asimov, in and of itself, let's give a quick recap here. So Asimov, we're building a decentralized marketplace for structured, verified knowledge. So not just information, but further up the kind of semantic tower to knowledge. So not just what something is, but why it is that, and the provenance behind it. So we've been a part of this accelerator for the last 8 weeks. That's why you haven't heard from us in a little while. And we've been building something. And what I'm going to introduce you to today is a thing called Positron. So Positron is our first commercial product that's built in the Asimov ecosystem. And it's kind of our way of really getting value into people's hands now, even while the full decentralized marketplace is being built. Right? So as I said, Asimov is designed to be a decentralized protocol for trusted, verifiable knowledge, a place where structured data becomes actually a public good. But like any network, it's got a cold start problem, right? No data, no utility. So Positron helps solve that. It lets people use Asimov with their own private data locally from day one. So Positron, you can think of it as your own private logic layer, right? And I'm going to give you a little bit of a demo about some of the stuff we've been working on. But think about it as a system that can connect your emails, your notes, your calendar, your Telegram chats, and build a local knowledge graph that AI can reason over. And it runs entirely on your device, no cloud, no uploads, no surveillance. And then when you're ready, you can enrich that private data with verified public knowledge from the Asimov marketplace. So things like LinkedIn, Crunchbase. Arto is going to show you a whole bunch of modules that we've been developing to bring in data from all over the internet, right? So while Arto and sort of his team have been working on like the core tooling on that, I've been working on some more sort of demo and prototype stuff yet. So we're not yet ready to release the whole thing. I'll give you a link to a form you can register as a interest to get notification when we're ready to go. But let's give you an example here. So I've got Claude Desktop here, and Claude Desktop. Now I might have shown you something a little similar to this previously. We've connected it to the Asimov MCP server that's running locally on my machine, and it has a number of data sets for demo purposes. So it has my personal Telegram data. It has some investor information, so that's taken from LinkedIn and Crunchbase. It has a bunch of gardening knowledge, just as another example case, and that's taken from YouTube transcripts. And it's got some stuff for the demo day. So we did a demo day as part of this accelerator. We did the demo day yesterday, so that was kind of the big finale of that 8 weeks. And I've got some information directly from there. And what I can do in Claude is I can interrogate it directly. So I can ask it, for example, which projects pitched at demo day. It will query the local knowledge graph and the demo day data set, and it will talk about the projects that pitched within that demo day, right? But what's really cool is when it starts interrogating both that information and personal information. So I asked it, do I have any connections to any of the projects? And it's actually gone ahead and searched through my Telegram data as well. And it's kind of joining that together to build a giant knowledge graph of both the Telegram data and the stuff that it's pulled out from the demo day, and brought up, what are the connections? So most significantly, quite obviously, as you might imagine, I am a connection to the demo day because I was presenting on the demo day. But it's found out that, my Telegram handle, it's found out various group chats I'm on related to the demo day and the accelerator, and projects we've been partnering with, for example. Also, things about the broader ecosystem as well to kind of give it sort of structure. And it has the provenance information. So where did it get this from? That's one of the key important parts. I used to work at Ripple, and I noticed there was somebody on there. So I asked, who was from Ripple, because I couldn't remember who it was. And it came back with the information there, who it was, and what their project is doing, and what they showed on the demo day, right? I looked and said, do I have any connection to him? And it sort of came back and said, well, you're both in a Telegram group together, right? So it's managing to combine this personal information of mine along with public information to kind of really give some good examples, right? And we have some, things that I could ask it here regarding sort of investors, for example. I can ask it, and it will go ahead and actually look through the knowledge graph data and bring out some information about investors that we've been working with, and can actually visualize that as well. So that's what we've been working on. That's Positron. And if you go to getpositron.ai, that's just literally gone live. It might still have a password protection on. If you still see that, just wait. I think that's been removed, but there might be a caching issue that's just stopping that for the moment. But you can register for early access to Positron. Now I'm going to hand over to Arto, and he's going to talk about what we've been doing with Asimov and the modules network side of things.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, so we're seeing pretty good early results from this approach,
I think you're still
meaning that we can... Oh, you can't hear me? Hold on. Let me do the...
I can hear you. We can hear you.
Better?
We can hear you. Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
it's just me.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been seeing some good early results from this approach, meaning that we, as we make an MCP server available, where we unify all of the knowledge in your life, so we can bring it together, just like Matt said, in an extensible way, where we have this concept of modules, and anybody can write a module. These are all open source. I'll show that in a second. It means that through this MCP server, you can access the sort of intersection or conjunction of all the data in your life. And that, of course, is exactly why we are building this on knowledge graphs. So I have a background 20 years in knowledge graphs. And the exciting thing for me has always been that this is the way you can unify all the data in the world. And in this case, we are taking that personal. And just like Matt said, this presents another answer to the cold start problem, to the bootstrap problem for our knowledge market. There's two ways you could bootstrap it. You could kind of top down, go heavy on BD, and of course we'll be doing that. And on the other hand, bottom up, crowdsourced. And with Positron, we expect that will indeed incentivize hundreds of thousands of users to share some part of the data that they're curating, and in this way seed the market. And of course, the market is being built on Neural Protocol, if somebody doesn't remember that. So let me show a little bit of the tech side of this, as we are just beginning to roll out the platform that underpins both the Asimov Protocol as well as Positron. So the Asimov platform lives on GitHub. Let me just find the right tab. Too many tabs. Somebody really should do a solution to that. Here we go.
Hey, Arto, would you mind sharing your screen? I think Matt's still sharing his. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, mine's coming through. So the Asimov platform lives here. But for now, I'm gonna specifically go to look at the modules part. So this is GitHub/asimov-modules. And as you can see, we got a great many of them in the works. And of course, once we have a token, then we'll incentivize even more. So just to look at a couple of these are published. Basically, the list of modules can also be found on crates because we write in Rust, of course. And here you can see that there's 16 published modules at the moment. We are rolling out several every week. And these do a great variety of functions. For example, on the one hand, of course, pulling in Telegram data, very important. On the other hand, you want to pull in your Apple contacts, your Apple Mail, things like that. On the other hand, you want to make sure that your local LLM knows everything about who you are, where you are, what time it is. And then, of course, there are data sources. And the current situation with data sources in the world is kind of absurd, meaning that, as you all know, a great many important websites are paywalled, whether we're talking about the New York Times, famously or infamously, or whether we're talking about Twitter, say, or X these days. So it means that getting the data in some cases is quite difficult, and so a whole ecosystem of scraper services has developed. And what I'm showing here at the top are 3 of the leading services for basically scraping any website out there. These services all have massive scale. They have millions of IPs around the world. They run headful desktop browsers so that they can actually they can see everything with JavaScript enabled. And it's just insane infrastructure. So this is kind of the ridiculous state of the data ecosystem today. Obviously, this will not do as we move towards our AI-powered future. We really all want structured data. So for the moment, though, the way we get data like this is, let's just have a look here. The way we get it is that we go through, for example, something called SERP API to get search results. You can't really scrape Google anymore these days yourself. They even went JavaScript only on the results earlier this year. But you can get all the search results through services like this. And these are even legally sound because, as it happens, Meta and X both sued some of these in the last year and lost. So any public data is fair game for scraping. So what we are making available then, the way the platform is composed, is a great many modules like this, where you can just you can enter any kind of URL, and we're gonna fetch that. We're gonna turn that into a knowledge graph. So basically, the fetcher pulls the raw data, and the importer turns that into a knowledge graph in so-called JSON LD linked data form. And this then can be brought into conjunction with all the other data in your life. So that's the structure of an Asimov module. And of course, for this kind of services, you do pay. So you need an API key for some of these modules. I just want to show the most recent module. So I published this just prior to the call. This is the NEAR module, where we are making available for Cloud Desktop and anything else speaking MCP, we are making available the NEAR protocol blocks and transactions. And of course, this is utilizing the excellent NEAR data API from well, Eugene the Dream. So this is working. If one just installs that and gives a URL that begins with the NEAR protocol, then you can indeed add that to the mix. Well, depending, Cameron, on time, I could skip a live demo as you like.
You can do live demo, just make it super quick because we are writing up.
Cool. So then let's switch over here to my terminal, and I'll just show the sort of obvious step here, which is let's say that we, for example, with the NEAR fetcher, well, as you might know, if you've been using that API, it's super fast because it's edge cached, so you can just pull all the blocks super easily like that. So that's the idea behind the platform. We make these standalone binaries that are useful even without the wider platform, and they have no dependencies. They compile into a single binary, can be deployed anywhere, super simple. So the platform is a collection of such tooling. So I think I'll leave it at that, and back to you, Matt.
Great. Matt, is there anything else you want to add? Nope. All right. Well, Arto, actually, real quick, both of you, I'm gonna bring you back on if that's cool. Hey, just so for like the people who might not be data scientists out there, just to kind of super simplify kind of what you're doing is like you have all this unstructured data from Telegram, from your Twitter, from your emails, photos, whatever it might be, and then you're going to be like a user will be able to upload that to the Asimov protocol. The Asimov protocol, correct me if I'm wrong, does it clean it? Does it clean this data and structure it properly? Or like, how do you actually turn unstructured data to structured data to make it relevant?
Right. So that's using LLMs to do that, and doing that locally. So in some of the proof of concept stuff and some of the early stuff, we're using hosted LLMs, but we're kind of skating to where the puck's going to be with local LLMs, and so you can utilize you can select there's actually modules for different LLM providers. So whether it's OpenAI or Anthropic or whatever or Olama, so you can do it locally. So yeah, so it's taking the unstructured data and converting it into not just structured data but semantic information. So it's pulling out relationships between the data within there.
Got it. But sometimes these models hallucinate. So assuming they do or don't structure it properly, I mean, I guess we could dive deeper into this over a different meeting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how do we? Yeah, it's a fascinating problem set because I'm curious about privacy. I'm curious about hallucinations. These are pretty important pieces to address.
Yeah, Cameron, there's major things to talk about, like constrained decoding, so semantically and syntactically constrained decoding. That is how you eliminate hallucinations. But this would be pretty techy and would take some time to talk about.
Okay. Maybe we just block out a bigger time for Asimov in the future because we do have to move on. But guys, thank you so much for joining. Is there anything that people should be checking out besides signing up for the say beta?
That's just the main thing at the moment. Get positron.ai and put in your details there. And yeah, check back. We'll be back on no doubt again. So yeah.
Absolutely.